Hey everyone, so I just recorded this video. Hopefully I'll remember everything I said, but my neighbor started mowing and you couldn't hear anything I was saying. So we're gonna try this again. So I intended on uploading my Mexico video and kind of immediately after surgery video, just as soon as I could. But when I started this page, it was to document this journey, and I am not a video editor. So I don't really know what I'm doing, and I keep getting really frustrated. So if anybody has any suggestions or knows anything about editing and wants to share with me, that'd be great. So surgery was July the 22nd, 2019, and today is August the 11th, 2019. It's not been a month yet, but I'm down about 40 pounds. I stopped weighing myself because I decided I don't like my scale. The biggest thing is I just want to pay attention to how I'm feeling and physically, getting to where I want to be physically, not so much a specific number, because really the number I'm trying to get to, I don't really ever remember being. So I don't really know what that's going to look like. So I don't want to stress out so much about the numbers on the scale as much as physically the transformation that's taking place. I know that before surgery, some of the big things to me were kind of, my mindset, how things would change, how I would feel after surgery, if I would be able to get back to like regular life. So I want to report on kind of where I am with that. Surgery itself, the whole experience in Mexico was amazing. I am so glad that I did it the way that I did. It really felt like I went on vacation, more than had surgery. Great. The day of surgery, Monday morning, got to the hospital around 8:30, I guess, in the morning. Filled out some paperwork, did some labs, had a chest x-ray, got in like the gown and everything, got up to our room, and everything was really smooth. My surgery, everything was just kind of busy the whole day. So I want to say surgery was maybe around 12 o'clock-ish. I do remember waking up after surgery. I was really uncomfortable, but I was also so medicated that it was kind of, everything was fuzzy, and I don't really remember a whole lot of that. The nurses just kept up on the medicine. I didn't have to ask for anything. They stayed ahead of it, which here a lot of times we're playing catch up, which means you're getting stronger doses often, just because we're not, we don't have the staff in a lot of our hospitals to like tend to the patients quite as frequently. But there were 6 people on our floor, 6 patients on our floor, and there were 3 nurses. So they were on top of it, constantly coming in and check on me, constantly coming in and check on my sister-in-law that was my companion, and that was amazing. So the first day was probably the most uncomfortable, but I just slept. I know a lot of people say like 20 minutes after I was up and walking. Well, for me, I slept. I slept and I recovered that day. As soon as I woke up and felt like it, I don't know if that was around midnight that night or if it was in the morning, but regardless, it was within a reasonable time frame. I was up, I was walking around, I was walking the hallways with my IV pole. I had my valet person, not valet, what are they called? I don't know, but the person that was assigned was walking with me, kind of showing me where to walk. I did the ice chips, did the barium swallow. Whoever said that barium swallow stuff, they couldn't describe the flavor, they lied. It tastes like the old school, like Robitussin cough syrup. Tasted like cough syrup, but it's 10 milliliters. It's, nothing. So barium swallow went well. Then let's see. Second day, still up, walking around, had my IV out. I was sipping on fluids, nibbling on the Jello. Loved the chicken broth that they gave us. We went on our excursion the next day. That was amazing. Don't sit over the wheel. If you go and they take you on the little tour, don't sit on top of this, or don't sit on the seat that's on top of the wheel. It's the bumpiest seat, and especially if you're at all tall. Like, I kept bouncing so hard, my head was like whacking the roof. Less than ideal. Not the best part. So now let's fast forward. Oh, and flying home, the only thing I can say about discomfort on the flight home was the TED hose. I had pulled the TED hose all the way up to like my panty line, but of course it kind of rolled down to that little my little squishy inner thighs, and that was really uncomfortable. So then I had to go in the bathroom once the seatbelt light was finally turned off, so I could pull them down to like mid-thigh, and then they were fine. I did, however, forget to take pants with me, so you'll see when I'm talking and all proud about what I'm packing in my bag. All my dresses, they don't really coordinate well with white Ted hose and sandals. So don't forget at least one pair of pants to wear home for your ride in the airplane. Also, I checked in with the desk person at the airport, and we were able to get preferred seating. So we were like the 6th person on the plane, which was ideal, so I could be at an aisle seat and be able to get up and move when possible. That was definitely helpful. Let's see what other things. So we're home. Once I got home, I honestly, the incisions were a little sore, and especially if I would twist, I could feel kind of a little tug where those suture lines were. But like, I mean, it wasn't anything. It wasn't like gonna stop me or hinder my ability to function. The biggest hindrance or the biggest difficulty was just remembering not to pick up things that weighed more than 10 pounds. By about the end of the first 7 days, I was starting to get a little bit hungry. And then I remember the nutritionist told me I could have some egg drop soup. That was a lifesaver. I loved that. And so then by the 2nd week, I could have my egg drop soup every once in a while. My clear broths, the Jell-O was fantastic. And then when I was able to start with the protein shakes, I did go and buy the big tub of whey protein isolate because our doctor, the nutritionist and the surgeon said absolutely no Premier Protein shakes after surgery, just because the type of protein that's in that, our stomach apparently doesn't absorb so well, and they had some kind of legal documentation to support what they were talking about. I do know that there's a lot of nutritionists, a lot of other places that will recommend them. I just know that I trusted the surgeon enough to let them do a life-altering surgery on my body, so I'll trust them with their nutrition recommendations as well. I did go and get the vitamins, but I didn't start taking them until about 5 days out, just because I was still kind of working on being able to take a drink of water big enough to take down a vitamin or whatever. So that's it for I think the rest of the stuff I'll try to upload with the videos more specific to the info. But let's talk about the progress. So it's not been quite a month. The biggest changes, I can't talk with this in my ear. The biggest changes that I've noticed, first of all, I put my scale in timeout. I don't want anything to do with my scale right now. I did not do measurements, which I'm kind of kicking myself for, but I don't want to use my scale and rely so heavily on my scale, because ultimately my goal weight isn't a weight that I've really had in my adult life. So I don't really know what that's going to look like, and I really want to focus on my overall health, my well-being, and being lean. I can physically tell what's changing kind of, but ultimately where I want to be. I do want to get in the gym. I'm really looking forward to doing more resistance training, weight training, to try to tone and get lean. Ultimately, that's the goal. So I'm not sure what that weight, that numeric value will be, but I really want to gauge it more by that, because I have noticed if it doesn't go down quite as much as I want, or if it fluctuates, it's really discouraging, and I don't want to throw myself off and get discouraged. So I've tucked the scale back away in the corner again. He's in timeout. I don't know how long he'll be there for, but he's there. So let's talk about the non-scale accomplishments. So first off, I bought this bracelet while I was in Mexico. When I bought it, I was really shocked, because a lot of times I can't wear bracelets. I have really big wrists, and when I got it, it had a couple little holes. So I was able to close it, and it fit. But as you can see, it's loose, especially on that bottom one. And so if I put it on the smaller one, actually that's less than the smaller one, if I tighten it, it fits perfect. So there's that difference. I've definitely noticed a difference in my wrist, also in my calves. Calves to ankle region. So you can see, it's on the second one now. It's a really bizarre area, but I just noticed it's not like coming off from the exact spots that I was thinking it would. Like, I really want my middle section just be like gone. And granted, that area is changing, but I've noticed really noticeable differences in my wrist and like my ankle calf region. Also the puffiness that is usually right here. So whenever I apply makeup or whatever, there's usually like, it's really full, and I'll always have hooded lids, but I've just noticed it's not quite as puffy as it used to be. The other thing that I've noticed, oh gosh, there's a few, but the biggest non-scale victory was today, or actually overnight, I guess. So last night when I was getting ready for bed, I had a sweatshirt on and I was really hot. I dozed off on the couch, woke up super hot, and I was like, I gotta take this off. So I took off the sweatshirt and I had folded some laundry, and I thought it was my pile of t-shirts. So I grabbed one, put it on, went to bed. When I woke up this morning, I realized that I was wearing my son's adult medium shirt. I should say I was wearing an adult 2X when I had surgery. So this is an adult medium. Now, listen, whoever's on here, judgy pants, I know that it is still a little snug, but there are some wrinkles. When I put this on before, it literally looked like I was trying to audition for the Hooters plus size team. It was like a girdle, suctioned on, like latex, but you know, it's on and there's wrinkles. So I consider that a huge non-scale victory. Also, I have to get rid of all of my jeans. Even though they're all skinny jeans, they are now too big. They fall off. I tried to wear them to a concert this week, and I literally had to hold the top of my pants because they were falling off. Same goes for my underwear. Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in. They're too big. They're like drooping off of me. That's all I got for now. Oh, so how I'm feeling. I feel fantastic. Like, I really don't feel like I had a huge surgery. The most noticeable difference is I take 1 or 2 bites of food and I'm stuffed. Which I will say brings me to the last point, my consciousness of what I'm eating. So yes, I'm not technically supposed to be eating food. I'm supposed to be like soft, pureed foods, but I'm very conscious of what I put in my mouth, and I'm very conscious of like chewing it to applesauce consistency. So first off, I know I'm not going to be able to eat more than a couple bites, so I take my time. I do very, very small amounts, and I chew. I don't drink the 30 minutes before eating. I don't drink the 30 minutes after, and I make sure that protein is my main objective. So, like tuna and scrambled eggs. That was a meal yesterday, lunch and dinner. I had some cream of wheat this morning, and then I've introduced that also to my kids. And they're on board. Like they're starting to kind of hear more about just these healthier choices, looking for protein in their food, staying away from the refined sugars, staying away from like the simple carbs. And they've been really, really supportive, really on board. It's been going great. I will say I did buy the huge tub of the whey protein isolate, and it was less than ideal. I bought one at Walmart. It was just like a chocolate whey protein isolate, but it was like the tub. It was disgusting, and now I'm stuck with a $25 tub of chocolate shake. I have heard a lot of people say the Gen Pro is really nice because it's flavorless. They can add it to their food and they increase their protein. Since I've kind of pushed the food and I'm eating other foods, I didn't invest in that just yet, but it might be something that I do, especially as I start doing more like resistance training. I don't know if I included in this video about coaching, because I know I did the last time, but I deleted it. This is getting long. Anyway, we'll talk about that more at a different time. Feel great. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care. Bye, everyone.